morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TashaDoesKeto. It's about 9 in the morning and I'm feeling a little bit hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and film a video for you guys. This was a requested video on how I put together my kale with goat cheese and bacon breakfast that I sometimes put together. So I went to the store, got the ingredients this past weekend. Everything I got today you can find at Walmart, so there's nothing special about anything I have. And I'm gonna get started on that because I am hungry. Alright, so let's talk about the ingredients that we're gonna use today and a couple of different options that you can do to make your life easier. So first of all, I have some bacon. I'm gonna be using up the rest of the bacon that I have. And this is 2 pieces of thick cut. My favorite bacon right now is the Black Label thick cut, but this was on sale, so go with the sales. And make sure that there's no carbs or anything like that in your bacon. Most of them don't, but some of them do, especially if you get into the ones that say maple, brown sugar, things like that. So I have my bacon. I'm going to be cutting that up, dicing that up just longwise, and then letting that saute in the pan. So that is going to give me fresh bacon and it's going to give me the bacon grease that I'm going to cook my kale in. If you don't have fresh bacon that you're going to be using today, but you have some bacon grease, that's going to be the best thing to season your kale with because it is a really strong vegetable. It's a cousin to greens, I'm pretty sure. So it does need to be cooked right or it's going to be kind of strong and you might not like it. So the alternative would be to just, if you have bacon crumbles at home, like I have these that I got from Costco a while ago that we're still going through, so those will work just fine as well. I have kale today. I picked up some. I picked up the kind that I'm going to be cleaning myself. And the reason that I did this, so there's 2 different kinds. You can get the ones that are like this that you have to clean yourself, or you can get the ones that are already chopped and washed for you in the bag. I don't mind that one, and I normally will get that, but I find that I can't go through the bag fast enough because I'm the only one who eats kale, really. If I put it in soups and stuff, my husband will eat it, but I'm the only one who will eat it regularly like this, so I got a smaller amount. Also, when I find that when you buy them in the bag, chopped and washed, all they really do is like chop like this. So see this long stem right here? It's really bitter, so I don't favor that very much. So I'm gonna clean my kale, wash it, and then I'm gonna remove the stem and then chop it. So also, like this much kale, it may look like a lot, but once you cook it and you get the stems out of there, it's gonna be like nothing in the pan. Just like spinach, you know, other things like that. To season everything with, I'm going to be using salt, pepper, and then I like just a sprinkle of chili flakes for a little bit of heat. I'm going to be making eggs alongside of mine, probably serve it right on top, especially if you make them over easy because then you can break the yolk over it. That's my preference. And then I have some goat cheese that I picked up at Aldi's, and this has 1 carb per serving, which is 28 grams. All right, let me get this prepared and we'll get cooking. All right, so I have my bacon all chopped, ready to go, set aside. I'm not gonna be using these today since I'm gonna be using fresh bacon. I'm about to start cutting and preparing the kale. I have a salad spinner that I'm going to be using to wash mine with. Use whatever means you have. If you just want to run this under water and then pat it dry with some paper towels. Just try to get most of the water off because if you stick it in the bacon grease, it is going to splash and pop. So. So as you can see, all I'm doing is laying the kale leaf flat and cutting along this line and then chopping each piece. Alright guys, I'm back. I have washed my kale. Now, I did notice while I was chopping this, there's a fair amount of dirt on the kale, much like greens have to be washed really, really well if you don't buy them already washed. So what I did was fill this container up with water and let the whole thing sit in water, and then I just, lifted this up, strained it, and then I spun it twice. So clean it really, really good because you don't want to be tasting grit while you're eating. I've already got the bacon started here. So it's really not a whole lot, just 2 pieces as you saw. And I'm going to get this working before we start adding in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so how long you cook the bacon for is really up to you and how you like your bacon. I personally like my bacon crispy. If you don't like your bacon crispy and you start to see some color like this, I would say now is about a good time to start adding in the other ingredients because it's going to continue to cook a little bit once it's in there. But I'm going to let mine go just a couple more minutes, maybe 2 more minutes. Keep a close eye on it. I don't want it to burn. And then we'll start adding in the kale. We are there. Mine is pretty crispy. You can see that there. I got plenty of grease going on in here, which is exactly what I need. So I'm gonna start adding, and I want to fill my pan. Again, don't forget, this is gonna cook down. So that's about what I'm gonna use, however much it's gonna take to fill my pan. As I mentioned before, if you have moisture on the leaves, it will pop in the grease, so be careful. Got my splatter guard, and I'm just going to start working this in. Get all the leaves nice and coated. That's where all that flavor is. Okay, now I'm going to start adding a couple of my seasonings. I'm not going to go heavy on the salt, just a little bit, because everything is pretty salty in here. So just a couple of shakes of the chili flakes. A little bit of black pepper. And a little bit of salt. This part really doesn't take long to cook at all. And then it will also depend on your preference. You don't want limp, wilty noodles, but you don't want it to be like super crispy still either, because then it'll taste kind of bitter. So at least give it a chance to cook in the bacon grease a little bit. As you can see, my pan is pretty much just about dry right there. So it has absorbed it. If you're counting macros, you do need to count bacon grease. It is a fat. It's the best kind of fat because it's an animal fat. But you do need to count that. So just a little tip for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the plate. And then I'm going to make my eggs and come back and show you when. So I got my eggs working. I'm not having 3, I'm having 2. I have 1 for Nevan. I have my greens on the plate, and what I'm going to do is take my goat cheese. If you've never worked with goat cheese, maybe you should taste it first. Because maybe you would prefer to have a different kind of cheese. I'm not sure. It is soft, like cream cheese, so I just cut off a piece of it, and I'm going to just kind of like pull different pieces off and just place it on there. It has a tangy taste to it. So if you're not familiar with it, try it first, and then if you don't like it, then you could probably use something like maybe the fresco cheese, like the queso fresco cheese would be good, or even mozzarella or parmesan might be good, but it's not going to have the same type of, I don't know, creaminess that this gives. It's really creamy and it's really good, so maybe cream cheese would probably be the closest thing to it. Also, the tang will kind of offset, the creaminess of this cheese will kind of offset like some of the flavors in this, so it does really work well together. So I'm just pinching off a couple of pieces and just kind of placing it wherever. So as I mentioned, I'm trying to go for over easy because that is just another layer of awesome flavor to add to this dish if you like your eggs that way. Oh, also to note, before I started the eggs, I wiped the pan out and added butter. I would not recommend using the juices that were in the pan just because the kale, like I said, can be bitter. You don't want that on your eggs. It's gonna taste weird. I've done it before, so take my advice. All right, guys. Don't worry about the mess back here. It's still the morning. Here is my breakfast slash lunch, or whenever I eat again. Gonna go ahead and give it a little taste for you. Kale, bacon, goat cheese. It's so good. It really is. It's really good, and I hope you'll give it a try. It's a very healthy breakfast. A lot of great veggies in there. People on keto, we tend to go through like periods sometimes where, you know, we won't have really any vegetables in a day, and then there's other periods where we'll just have a lot. Or at least I do. And that's really just your body, you know, telling you what you need. So listen to your body. It's okay to have vegetables. This is where your carbs should be coming from. And I hope that you will give this a try. Let me know what you thought about it. If you've never tried kale, let me know how it turned out. It could be one of those things that has to grow on you. Maybe not. Maybe you'll love it, especially if you like some of the other greens that are out there. So anyways, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. If you'll take a minute and hit that like button and maybe even subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.